everyone, this is Ronnie with Everything Virtual here for a news talk episode. This is take two because, as you can see, I am the host today. Zane couldn't make it on the call, but we wanted to record something given all the news that's going on, and we've been kind of behind the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm glad to be back here. Damon's joining me. Glad to have you on the show, Damon.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and you're just getting into it when I interrupted you on our first take, but you were talking about your setup behind you because this is the first time I got a chance to see it. But yeah, if you wanted to talk a little bit about all the stuff that you have on your wall.
Well, this is just years of playing VR. This is different stuff. This is usually what is called it's our playroom. There's usually 4 to 5, 6 kids running around, grabbing everything. So that's why everything is up, hanging out of reach in safe places. This is just a multi-purpose room. This is where my VR is. It's not very big, but it's at least something. So yeah, it's all the stuff hanging around, old controllers, current headsets, old Pentium 486 computers in the background for the little kids.
What are you running on the CRT? Because I can see you're running something, but I didn't know what it was.
So yeah, that's Secret of Monkey Island. That's a big one.
Nice.
The kids are going crazy with that now. That's one of their favorites. That and Fatty Bear. That's the two big treats that the kids like to play now. But yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of old, because they had a lot more in the 90s. They had a lot more educational PC stuff because it was kind of like, hey, buy this computer for your house, and here's all this edutainment software.
Yeah,
which it's a lot of great stuff, and there's a ton of it. So we play a lot of that, but we play a lot of the old classics, Doom and things like that for my oldest daughter. But they love it. We play that. We play old school video games, and then of course they always want to play Beat Saber, which is always ends in Beat Saber.
Yeah, no, Beat Saber never goes away. Like even for me, it's one of those things. Just like anytime I feel like messing around in VR, I'll try whatever's new, and then at the end of the day, I'll just be like, you know what? Let's just throw in some Beat Saber.
Get my Beat Saber time in. If they made a headset that only, like a Go with 6 degree, that only played Beat Saber, I think they'd still sell a couple million of them because people are like, oh, this is all I need.
I agree.
So that's this space for me. It's never this clean. This is the cleanest it's been in a long time. So yeah, this is just the place where we play and jam out.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I wish I had a
tethered VR.
Yeah. No, I have a decent amount of space for my VR setup, but that's because it's kind of like it's just in my living room. So I have to kind of steal the entire
communal living room area.
Yeah, I don't have my own space. So I'm kind of jealous in that regard because they would be amazing to bring out all the old systems and all that stuff.
You can't see it, but there's a ceiling fan right about a foot above me. So that's one of my projects, is to work on getting that thing out of here, set up some LED lighting, get it all, nice and everything.
Yeah.
But get rid of the fan, put some fans in the corners, that kinds of thing. So you still have that airflow.
Yeah.
Get the ceiling fan especially with those wands. It was always just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. At least the wands can take it.
They can take it. Yeah. They're still trucking. I'm still got them, using them as trackers, but
no, that's what I was going through some of my older stuff. And that's like the one thing about, like, in my opinion, the Index versus like, whatever HTC did with the original Vive. Like there's something about that hard plastic that they used on the Vive that just feels like it could just, it's indestructible.
Titanium weaved plastic or something. You can shoot bullets at it. You could drive it over the car. It was very, very, very tough. And I think they knew that.
Yeah.
We got to have something that's going to be like indestructible.
But
if only the trackpad, if only the trackpad had the same titanium, whatever in there. But okay. Yeah.
But no, awesome setup. That's really cool. So
thank you.
So the main focus of today's episode is going to be all the Oculus Quest 2 / Lite rumors that are out there. And I mean, at this point, in my opinion, a lot of it's not even so much rumor as it is just leaked images and leaked information that hasn't been confirmed yet. But I'm going to pull up Upload VR because they have links to and images on a lot of what's been leaked so far.
Well, you got the new image, right? There's a new image from if we look at the headset, maybe look more at the lenses.
Yeah, I think
a
I've
little bit. It's kind of doesn't really show a whole lot if we're looking at like a Quest.
Yeah, let me pull it up right now. So share.
So
is that okay?
The Quest, the original Quest with the angle. Well, that's the front.
Yeah. So this is just the front. Okay. And this, I mean, just to give people that, haven't been keeping track of what's going on with this stuff, a little bit of the background. So, Oculus, first there were rumors a couple weeks ago stating that Oculus had some kind of a new headset that was going into mass production.
Yeah.
And so, but we didn't know exactly what it was. There are still rumors that it was some kind of a follow-up to the Quest. And there was information that was leaked previously about Jedi controllers and whatnot. So we had an idea that Oculus was going to be releasing something, but we didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And then this leaker, he's a tech leaker named Walking Cat on Twitter,
who's done other stuff before, who's been been right on stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So he's leaked stuff, not only, VR related, but a lot of other tech stuff, and has leaked out some legitimate info. He put up pictures of what looks like this white plastic Quest replacement. And I mean, there had been rumors that there was going to be a new Quest that was plastic, but we didn't have any
picture bigger so we can see more detail on that, because it's
yeah. Let me. I mean, I'll just pull up some of the other ones, because So these were some of the originals, and the thing that most people pointed out on it was just the fact that some of the placements of the cameras are different, like especially the top cameras are wider, spaced out. The USB-C is on the side now, rather than it's horizontal instead of vertical,
which is great. I think.
And then it has a different strap mechanism, obviously the color, and then you can see that the grip buttons are a little bit different. They're more akin to the original Rift Touch controllers rather than the newer ones for the Quest and the Rift S. And then kind of the biggest thing that you could see from this picture that got people worried was the fact that you don't see any IPD adjustment. So there's no physical IPD adjustment on the headset that we can see in these images.
We can see they're kind of that one section. I heard somebody say that there was something on the top, but they said it was a sticker.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere along this section on the top of the render that there was something there,
So here are some new screenshots that came out, a little bit later of the headset. And I mean, to me, these do look legit. You can see that, in general, it's plastic. It looks to me like it's a cheaper to manufacture headset, though obviously I don't know, for sure, but it would make sense.
Look at the way the straps are done. I mean, it's very Go-ish. In the back there, the way the straps are kind of like, there's a little plastic thing for the back. And I don't have the original ones, but the original audio strap, that's kind of an all-in-one plastic, but it has audio kind of built into it. And
it would be right here.
This is a DAS, but this, remember the spring,
the
original one there, and they're kind of, I know they had problems. I definitely had problems with the spring on my Quest, where it kind of gave out. So a little bit more basic, lighter, lighter.
Yeah. And see, I mean, that was kind of part of what I was thinking I mean, the fact that it looks definitely smaller. Like it looks like this is more narrow.
And then to the camera placement, basically you're going to have, I would say, a lot more space above you to hold your hand, even higher behind your head. Like if you're going to grab like a sword or something, I don't think the new one's going to have any problem seeing the controller or your hand with hand tracking. I mean, somewhat be able to see it.
Yeah.
With that, the way those being back farther and pointing up more, so a wider angle.
Yeah, and then you can also see. I mean, people are talking about how the grip buttons, not only are they more like the old Oculus Touch controllers, but it looks like they've repositioned the battery. The battery compartment, so that because people had issues with the original Oculus controllers with the Quest and the Rift S, the little compartments would open up when you were playing like fast-paced games and stuff like that. So so this looks like it's been redesigned so that compartment won't open.
I love that we're keeping batteries in our controllers. That's one of the things I like, because when it dies,
you can just swap them out and just keep playing immediately.
And you're good to go. So
no, I agree. That's definitely
a big deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. So all around, I mean, I think this is cool. Some people, disappointed in terms of, I mean, we don't know yet if the specs are going to be higher, like as far as, what Snapdragon processor it has and exactly what the optics are or anything like that. I mean, my guess would be that it is very possible that it would be a newer Snapdragon, just because I don't think the Snapdragon, what was it? The
835, I think.
835 that was in the original.
I think it's
either. I think it is 835. It's either 835 or 845, but I'm pretty sure it's 835. You're right.
The thing is, but here, when you look at so this is an S10. This is what, an 855 or 65 or something like that. So it's a couple generations after the Quest.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, and again, I'm a dummy when it comes to mobile Snapdragon processors and how they actually go. But what I was always understood is that from the 35 to even say a newer one like the 10 or the S20, yes, it can handle more cameras. Yes, it can do this, it can do that. But processor-wise, they focused a lot of their time and energy on power efficiency, and other things to make the phone last longer, to make it work better.
Sure.
And, certain kinds of environments and things, and have more compatibility. But the raw power and graphics ability, it's not generational.
So it's more powerful, but it's not like leaps and bounds more powerful.
Yeah, you're not looking at like
but an i3
versus an i9 kind of
thing. But what you're explaining, I mean, if that's accurate, then I feel like that's probably what you might need in a refresh of the Quest, because you can get away with a smaller battery.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if all you're really doing is running the same games, but perhaps at 90 90 on 90 hertz refresh rate.
Too. Yeah, that's something I heard too. We can take the same games, newer processor, no change. Nobody has to do anything. There doesn't have to be maybe a small patch, and it runs at 72, or it'll run at 90.
Yeah. So I mean, that's possible. And the thing the thing I like about this from just a perspective of some like a VR enthusiast, and I tweeted something similar to this earlier, but I would have been disheartened if Oculus was releasing a new version of the Quest that was just like completely blows away what I have and makes me want to get a new. Yeah, because
a year ago I bought it. Now it's got eye tracking and it's 3 times the resolution.
Exactly. So we don't know.
FOV is twice as much.
Who knows? Maybe it has that stuff, but I really doubt it. Considering
those lenses, I mean, come on, those lenses. If you look in there, I mean, granted, I went a little way apart, but if those lenses, they look kind of. Do they look a little bigger? They look about the same to me.
They look about the same to me.
See a huge. Maybe there is a little bit of FOV. Maybe 10 degrees more. Maybe they did some kind of thing. They're closer to your eyes, kind of like the Index will do a thing closer to your eyes. They give a little less space in there.
But even the face gasket though looks. I mean, to me, it looks almost the same, if not the same, as the current Quest.
People say they think, and this may be just because it's a render, that it looks kind of like it is maybe more of a pleather kind of thing and not a fabric.
I feel like I can't tell enough about that because the fact that this is a render, like look on this render, I mean, this is a lighter material than this, which makes me think that this is plastic and this is
but it would make sense to have something that's maybe a little bit easier.
I agree.
Now that we live in COVID,
yeah.
How quickly can you take this thing, wipe it down with an alcohol wipe, hand it to someone else, and then it be safe?
That would be much better. I agree.
I haven't done any VR parties since March because do I want to take this off my sweaty face and hand it to somebody else? It's a little bit weird. VR is in a weird place right now, I feel.
Yeah.
And I can see totally. But the big thing I like is they're obviously listening. When everybody says when everybody online was like, "Oh, I'm playing Beat Saber and my battery cover flies off." Well, of course, they got a million people saying, "Okay, well, we got to read it." I mean, it's cool with the magnets, but we got to redesign that. They obviously are listening. If this is true, they, it's front heavy. Everybody was complaining like, "Oh, after a half hour, my face hurts." Well, lighter materials. It's cheaper. I can't see it not being cheaper in some way. If it's lighter and it's quicker to make, it's faster to make.
No, I agree. I mean, assuming that there isn't, the insides aren't something different than what we're guessing.
And that brings us to, is the point of this thing is to be cheaper and easier to make. If they can make 2 of these for every one of the quests they used to make, and it's cheaper to make, and we can sell it for cheaper, and people are fine with it. They're like, "Do you have original quest?" "No, we got the new one." "Okay, I'll take the new one. I don't care." Then they can put stuff on shelves and start actually stocking their shelves. Because, I mean, I don't know. Have you started to shop for this thing lately? Like, it's forever. It's been pretty much out. Or they would get small shipments at Best Buy or on the website, and then they're gone instantly.
No, I knew someone, like one of my relatives actually got one for her son for a birthday, and I think she ended up just like getting it at an increased price on eBay or something. Yeah, and she bought a new one, but like. Yeah, I told her, like, they're in stock every now and then. You might just want to kind of be vigilant. And then I found out she got one, and I asked her, "Oh, wow, how'd you find it?" And it, she just ended up buying it from somebody. But yeah, no, they're hard to find. I mean, even the older I was, before we got on here, I was just mentioning that I finally sold my original Oculus Rift. I'm keeping the DK1. That thing I'm just going to keep. But the Rift, I just decided, you know what? Like, I'd rather than having it just sit here in a bag, I'd prefer that somebody could actually use it and enjoy VR. And so,
I did the same thing for the same reasons. I was like, some kid, and it was a Christmas present. Some kid somewhere, been begging his mom. His mom can't. It was Christmas. Couldn't find anything,
dude. Like
here.
As someone that's really into this stuff, I learned a lot from selling my Rift on Facebook Marketplace, because so many people reached out to me about the headset, and so many people, you could tell, just desperately wanted to try VR.
Yeah,
I sold like a few different things. I used my wife's Marketplace account because I don't have an account, whatever. But I put a bunch of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And, most of it was just computer parts, whatever. And, I got messages here and there. But a lot of the interest that I had in the Rift specifically, you could tell that people have like a different, like this is something that they like have been dreaming about for a long time, and that they really are really fascinated about it.
So good question. Is that Half-Life Alyx? Is it the fact that everybody wants a quest is like it's kind of penetrated the
I don't know,
interest a little bit. So popular, like, you want one? Oh, you can't have one. Like a Switch, like the Switch was so popular. That whole you try it, oh, you can't have it. So is it that? Is it Alyx, that everybody's seeing videos from Alyx, and Alyx is coming out? It's like, it's incredible. The most incredible, gorgeous VR game. It blew everyone's minds, and it still blows my mind when I play it now. Is it? I mean, it's been out for 4 years, since 2016.
Like
VR. We've been harping on this for a while, and now they're in this great position where every company wants to have a product that you can't even keep on the shelves. But it's extreme, and now, people are kind of going crazy. I don't know. I think we're on the second step on the way to where maybe mass adoption. Everybody says, "Oh, mass adoption, everybody has it. $100 headsets that are amazing." Well, this might be a $300 headset that's amazing, because we've got honestly, $400. I think everyone agrees, $400. The Quest is incredible. So is a $300 or even a $280 or some weird mix of that, is a Go with 6 Degree of Freedom for $300. Is it worth it? I'd say, yeah, I think so. If that's what it is, and if it's just the Quest, if it's all the hardware is the same, the lenses are the same, the outside it's lighter, maybe it's one screen, no IPD adjustment, or it's software, but everything else is the same and it's cheaper. It's going to sell because what else is out there?
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
You can't buy anything else. And what if they come out and go, no, it's $400. This is just a new flavor. It's the S. It doesn't come with anything. No software pack in. No free games. But there's tons of free stuff out there. Like now, the whole idea of free games with your.
Well, and eventually now, I mean, Oculus recently, I haven't followed what I haven't followed the like what Oculus is doing with it since they made the announcement. But a couple of weeks ago, I remember them saying something about they're going to be there's going to be a way for developers to bring games to the platform that aren't approved for the store, kind of like an official side quest, basically.
Yeah,
and
they've needed that for a while. I mean, side quest is amazing.
Yeah, but basically this way, so you don't have to opt into developer, like creating a developer account and all that stuff. Like essentially, hey, we're going to make it so that you can enjoy the side quest experience on a quest without having to jump through a bunch of hoops.
Do anything. You just
go
one more tab over and it's like, oh, this is all the stuff that it's not on our main store, but it's like on our side store.
Yeah. So I think that's cool.
They need it for a while because there's a lot of great stuff that has just got either denied because it wasn't in line with what they wanted. And we've emailed back and forth with Oculus and said, hey, this game's amazing. And they're like, it's just not kind of what going for.
And the thing that I like, I mean, just from seeing how other people interact with VR, I know Oculus was always worried about having kind of those bad experiences, like having someone that wasn't used to VR jumping into the wrong thing the first time. But I definitely agree with that sentiment. But the thing is, the other part of me thinks that, like, even though they've done they've worked so hard to try to avoid those situations, at the end of the day, some people just get sick, and some types of experiences are just a little bit hard to deal with. And so if you're not going to be able to fully avoid those type of situations, you might as well embrace the experimental side and let people try it if they want to. Or
just things that are strange.
Yeah.
Was it T for God? That maps out your space and plays. It's phenomenal. And Crisis Brigade. I'm saying that wrong. It's like the Virtua Cop for VR.
Yep.
He's an independent developer, and I'm not sure, but I think he was denied for the store, and then said, "Well, forget it. I'm just going to put it on SideQuest."
Yeah.
So I think giving people an avenue that they can put it on there. There can be lots of disclaimers that say, "Hey, this is not our main store. This is our side place. This stuff is a little bit less. It's early access. It's still in development. It's we don't give any There's no guarantees on this. It's not like our main store." I think it's great. The thing is I don't think they were prepared. You remember when we were at GDC and they were showing us the Rift S, and it was before the Rift S had come out, and then they had the Quest, and all of us, we were like, "Oh, the Rift S it's cool. It's nice. It's good." But I mean, we were like, "This is incredible. This is the most amazing thing. This is what we've been asking for forever." Yeah. And I think they were just nervous. They just said, we got to be very protective of it. We look at the things that people complain about. Oh, there's a Steam. There's thousands of junk crap out there that is not any good or is of low quality and things like that. We don't want that happening here. Mm-hmm. And then people associate junk games with our, portable headset. Yeah. But I think it was good they were cautious, but now you don't have to be cautious anymore. Just let everybody have some kind of avenue. And if it's not any good, it gets 1 star and it sits at the bottom of the list. Yeah. If it's great, it's amazing,
people will find it.
I think they want to use that as their own personal, we'll give you $100,000 or we'll give you $50,000 to try this out a little more, but it comes exclusive. It's only going to be on Quest.
Yeah.
Smart. It's smart business.
Yeah.
I get it. They find those golden gems and then okay, let's give you a little bit of money or we'll support you or we'll find some way to get you.
So many of the studios that had kind of heavy hitters in the early cycle for the original Rift on the PC are now owned by Oculus. So it's kind of, owned by Facebook. So yeah,
What
and
some people are not excited about. Some people are very excited.
But it's interesting just to see that. I mean, they're clearly focused on finding the good content and rewarding those developers as much as possible for dishing those out.
I like that there's lots, like, they could, and I've said this before, they could have been way more jerky about their hardware. They could have been like, not only are you never going to be able to load anything not approved by us, not only are you never going to be able to plug it into a computer, not only things like virtual desktop, which they totally said, okay, you can't keep it on the main store, put it on SideQuest, you can do virtual desktop wireless streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They've been they've kept Revive. They've never messed with Revive since 2016.
Yeah.
So they've made their money. They're a business, but at the same time, been pretty open. And I like that I can go on SideQuest. I can put, I put Doom. You can, guys, if you're watching the show, you can play Doom on your Quest, and it's amazing. And all mods for free.
Yep.
You can play Half-Life, the original Half-Life. Like, all that stuff is SideQuest, and there's just lots of cool stuff on there. So I'm excited about all of those guys being able to put their stuff on like an official store and get some attention. And maybe it doesn't have to be Oculus writing the checks. Some other publisher out there is like, ooh, we'll give that guy $40,000 or $100,000 to spend the next year making this great. And
no, I agree. So getting back, I guess, to the Oculus Quest 2 or Lite, whatever they're gonna end up calling it. The more recent rumor that Walking Cat leaked was, I think he put a potential release date. I don't think he even said, he just put kind of, September 14th or something like that with a question mark next to.
The question would be, when did they start fabrication? When did they start?
Supposedly recently.
In China. These are made in China.
Yeah.
So if they started fabrication in March.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like it though. But
what I mean? It's hard to figure out when they started. Working out the prototypes, getting those shipped, because those took.
You're right. Yeah.
They got to get the prototypes in, because we played on beta prototype quests when we were there. They were all engineering samples. Who knows if it was the 30th version or the 4th?
Yeah, and that was in March, and then they shipped in May.
Yeah, they had basically a final prototype sample that we were playing with in March. And then by May, they were gone. So had they been making since December? It sounds about right. If they started with the idea, maybe again in May, maybe in March, getting the final version, thinking they were going to release in summer, COVID hits and go, oh, that's not going to work. We're gonna have this thing out again. So maybe more of a September, October ramp up for
but
Christmas.
No, I think it would be really smart if they can get these out before the holiday season, especially if like you were saying, if they're cheaper to manufacture and they're already having issues keeping up with the demand as it is.
They're a business. They have to
as well
go, how can we make it much faster, much cheaper?
Yeah. But you might as well, you might as well, if you're already having a hard time keeping up with demand, if you're going to be releasing a new headset, you might as well just pivot. Start making these cheaper, newer versions of the hardware. You can sell it, get people excited for the holiday. And I think, and given how excited people seem to be picking up old headsets and stuff on the used market, I really think if they can, I mean, I was selling mine for, around $250. I see a lot of them going for around $300. So just think if you can get a new headset that has everything in for around that price. I bet you. $350. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people. Maybe some of those people a lot of the people might be priced out at $400 to $500.
Totally.
But they're totally willing to give it a try for the around $300.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Three and change. I mean, what does a Switch cost? $300, $350.
Yeah, around $300. I think.
That was kind of a perfect number. It was like, it's not a cheap $100 piece of junk.
Yep.
It's not a $500 or $600 straight up high end console.
Yep.
But the $300 mark, it's an easier sell. It's definitely easier to go for a kid or for the wife acceptance factor, as a lot of this stuff has to have.
Yep.
$300. It's $300.
Yep.
And granted, we're in a time right now where a lot of people are out of work. So maybe the whole idea is we want to make something that's great, that's social, that you can have social interactions. You can maybe do your job easier and do virtual meetings and things like that. And
we definitely see a lot of that software coming out.
Yeah.
Being pushed.
Yeah, totally. And now there's like, we can make a $300 corporate sold and sell this to companies and give this to people and say, listen, and you want to keep in touch with people as if they're really there for the next 6 months while we figure the whole COVID thing out.
And just to be clear, we're just completely speculating on the price. Like, we have no idea.
Reaching into the butts and pulling out complete garbage. But we know how they've operated in the past. We know they operate like a business. We know they're aggressive. Yeah. We know, kind of from talking with them at conventions and talking with them over email, like, we know how they look at things, and that kind of fits their mantra. Like, we can't keep the one in stock on shelves, so we're going to pivot a little bit. My call, it's the same hardware, everything in it's the same. Use the same chips, because what is this? I bet that Snapdragon chip they get for cheap nothing now. Yeah, it's cheap because it's an older chip.
Yeah, so my only question would be if they're like, sometimes when things get old enough, it becomes a little bit like the price stops going down because you're the only one that's really sourcing the thing. So that would be my only question, is like,
it's the one chip up, and it's a little bit, it's 5% faster, has better battery life, power saving features, things like that.
Yeah,
it's the same chip basically. Yeah, whatever they get. I tell you,
whatever they get cheap.
They say we want 2 million Snapdragons, and they go, well, we have the 837 or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll buy that.
Sure.
And we could make 4 million of them in the next 12 months. They'll be like, sure, give us those.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're a smart company, and they kind of, they didn't even luck into this. They're kind of making iterative steps, and they're getting more and more towards that day when they had this amazing 6-degree headset. A lot of the people online were saying they think it's going to be a go, no controllers, 6 degrees, but you just use your hands, and it's $200 or $250 or something. And then for $100, you can buy the controllers. So
that's
you can
cool.
Play a bunch of hand games and do fun stuff like that, and use.
Dude, you're right. They have to do something like that.
Things like that.
Why would they not do that if they like how much they've done with the hand tracking stuff, and it doesn't cost any more to like.
In a couple of years, I think you'll definitely. I think once the hand tracking is rock solid.
Yeah.
I think once the system on a chip, people build the components so that this is perfect and doesn't require any extra overhead from the system itself.
Yep.
Maybe even cameras that are kind of like keyed in with like LiDAR, whatever the technology, to where this is like, and it doesn't matter if you have small hands, big hands, you're African American, you're pale as white, like me, or in the background is the same. It can just figure it out, and it's perfect. And you can play piano and do whatever.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see $200, much lighter.
I'm curious what Oculus and Facebook are kind of thinking right now, as far as I've personally been seeing so many rumors and stories about what Apple intends to do with Apple glasses.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So we don't know exactly what that's going to be or when it's going to be, but I mean, it seems like it's coming in the relatively near future, the next couple of years, something AR/VR related from Apple. And you know that, Facebook has been in this space because they want to get a heads up on this kind of area. So I kind of wonder what they're like, how I'm sure they've known that these things have been in the pipeline at Apple for a long time. I just kind of wonder how this strategy that we've seen Facebook kind of, slowly kind of put together up to this point, how that's going to change or how it's going to evolve in the next couple of years as, Apple and other like more mainstream competition might start to, we'll see.
I read the book, and I just forgot the name of the book. It was like The History of the Future.
Yeah. That's a great book.
Phenomenal book. If you haven't read it, go out and get it, put it on your Kindle, put it on whatever. The big thing Zuckerberg, and this is old news, but the Zuckerberg was like, he missed out on the cell phone. He missed out on the smartphone. So he said, I'm not going to sleep on the next big thing. And he saw VR is that. And I think he saw, VR is step one, affordable VR that everybody uses and has that everybody loves it. And seems like we're getting there in the next couple of years. And then AR is the thing that just, everyone on the planet starts using it.
Yeah.
In some form or another. It's in your glasses. It projects something in front of your face. Otherwise you can't really tell that I'm using it right now. It links with your phone. So I think they definitely got into VR with the long-term game of going, we want a whole line of products. We want AR related products that tie into Facebook. We want VR stuff that ties into
the gaming side. Yeah, I agree.
Facebook side. So yeah, the question though is Apple in it? Is Apple in it to just because Apple's done stuff in the past that they just play with something and then they only played with it and they kind of like remember they came out with a PDA in the 90s.
Yeah.
The Newton. They came out with all kinds of products. Now this is before Steve Jobs came back. But they've kind of played with stuff. Mm-hmm. And if it explodes quickly, and Steve was amazing because he was like batting 10 out of 10. He was like, oh, you want an iMac? Here, try the iMac. Oh, explosion. Everybody wants one. iPad, everybody wants one. iPhone, everybody wants one. So he was kind of batting 1,000. Now he's not around anymore. So they got to kind of get a wide berth of now they're the ones wanting to not miss out on the next big thing. And everyone for years has now said AR is the big thing. So Apple's like, well, we got to spend some money on it. Otherwise we'll seem like we're falling behind. But I kind of think they'll either release something that, big Apple fans think is great, but I don't know if how do I talk somebody who doesn't wear glasses into wearing glasses?
Yeah, that's
you don't wear glasses and you're like these big clunky plastic things and they have lenses in them and they have cameras and they have a microphone and they have speakers and it's all combined here and it's cool and everything. But how do you convince someone who doesn't wear glasses? Okay, you got to put this on and you got to look like me with glasses. Not a great picture anyway, as we see reflections of my screen on there. But how does that work?
Yeah.
And you get those prescription lenses and all that kind of stuff. They've already proven that people will spend $1,000 to $2,000 on a phone. Will I spend $500 on a pair of glasses? That's where I think it's going. But is Apple going to take it seriously?
Yeah.
Are they going to be the ones that are they going to do the iPhone again and then come up with something that's so revolutionary and so amazing that we're like, oh, how do we live without it? I don't think so. I don't think I think it's going to come out. It's going to be neat. But somebody else, I don't know who. I think somebody else is going to do it a little bit different. And then, of course, Apple and Facebook will probably buy them out.
Yeah. We'll have to see, I guess. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because, like I said, that you know that they're on each other's radars for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
who's Apple's main? I mean, does Apple even? Apple only has a couple competitors, Samsung, Facebook, with certain spaces.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I've just been seeing so many rumors out there, and with like all the new, like with Apple Silicon and LiDAR being introduced to the iPad, and clearly they're starting to push things in directions that will be more AR/VR friendly.
I welcome it because we've seen. We saw in 2016 there was only two companies. There was HTC with the Vive, there was Facebook with the CB1 Rift, and even with two companies, it was great. They pushed each other.
Yeah.
HTC said we have motion controllers. Do you got motion controllers? No. And then within a year, you had the touch controllers, which were phenomenal.
Yeah. You know what's really crazy
ever.
What's really crazy reading the History of the Future, the book that you mentioned by Blake Harris, I think. What was really fascinating about that, and obviously I knew the connections already, but reading the book kind of makes you realize even more so just how this entire VR movement really spawned from kind of the same general place. like it eventually becomes kind of Oculus slash Facebook versus HTC slash Valve. But initially Valve was working with Oculus, and it was really just a handful of engineers kind of all coming from different places, but coming together and bringing what they knew to the table to make the coolest VR headset that they could. And then that eventually, I mean, in a lot of ways, all the VR tech that we're using now kind of had its birthplace in the same kind of meeting of the minds around that time period, like around 2014, 2015. Like it was kind of one spot, and then it all branched out from there and kind of developed.
They'd all been around in the 90s and had the hype, the hope, and then we're disappointed because the technology was there. And I think why doesn't AR go through something similar? I think it was going to have to. It's going to have a lot of hype. It has been hyped up as the end all be all of everything. AR is going to be everything. Well, I think we're going to have another trove of disillusionment, or whatever they call it. That whole thing of like, it's going to come out, everybody's going to be like, this is amazing, and then a bunch of people, the majority of people are going to be like, I don't really want to pay $600 for a pair of glasses. And then they're going to refine it, they're going to change it, it's going to be different, and then there's going to be that thing, not Beat Saber, maybe Beat Saber, but there's going to be something that pushes it forward. So I want more players in the space. I'm excited if we have a third player of Apple that is coming out with things and goes in the aerospace. But I think we need more people doing crazy cool headsets. Right now, the mass headset consumers you got Oculus, HTC still in the game. You got Valve in the game.
Yeah, HTC. I mean, especially in China, which you can't count out. Obviously,
no. I think they've definitely got something up their sleeve, and we'll see something from them in the next 2 years to a year. Yeah. They're very going back and forth a lot with the U.S. team talks constantly. They're able to kind of iterate, design things very quickly. So I think
HTC is known for that. They've always been able. They're able to design and bring stuff to market very quickly. I think that was one of the reasons why Valve kind of used them early on with the Vive, and
I wouldn't count them out exactly. So I think they're still in it, at least at a little bit. There's Pimax that's in it now. I've never used a Pimax headset. I like the idea of it kind of pushing boundaries with more. We know the deal. We know what we want. That's the funny thing. Maybe in the 50s or 60s, people did they really want giant wings and their car to look like a spaceship? I don't know. But they knew they wanted maybe better fuel efficiency. They knew they wanted safer cars, or maybe they didn't, but they knew they should have them. I think we all know what we want. We want eye tracking. We want more FOV. We want, almost screen doors almost eliminated. We want great color. We want cost. We want to be comfortable. We want it not to cost $2,000 or $1,000.
See, interestingly, I feel like it's those kind of more simple things that, like the third party companies, like a Pimax, for example, they're able to deliver. And I'm glad we have companies that can focus on bringing those special, like having the super wide field of view for people that really want it, or having super high resolution like the Vario, or like
Reverb 2.
Reverb 2, having kind of. So it's cool that you have companies like that can just iterate and bring out kind of. I'm not going to call it simple, but they're able to solve the simpler problems that VR faces right now. And then you have companies like Facebook, companies like Valve that are internally working on kind of the harder problems, like stuff like variable.
We didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know on this is the DAS.
Yeah,
I didn't know that this, after hours of sweat and heat, it's great, but at the same time, after an hour, I got to pull it out. I got sweat on my ear, and I didn't even realize that I wanted one that doesn't touch my ear and shoots sound into my ear. Nobody told me that's what I wanted, but Valve was like, "Oh, you'll like this."
Yeah. So no, and varifocal lenses and all these kind of things that long term will make a bigger impact.
Focus knob that's on the Gear VR. I tell you, the focus knob for people with glasses, you have a little knob and it moves it in and out and it makes the focus. Oh, I would be happy if I can just say
Yeah.
that. So I don't have to
No,
put contact lenses in every time I want to use VR.
Ugh. All right. Well, I think that was a good discussion. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to see kind of what this headset ends up being, and then obviously it's just seeing how this stuff all shakes out. But yeah, thanks for joining me on the call today.
I'm glad to be here, man. I love talking about VR. I'm gonna go play some VR because I'm in an empty house, so I'm gonna go play a lot of VR. I'm gonna actually probably play Virtual Battlegrounds. Check that game out. That's cool. Not a lot of people playing it, but it's still in early access. Of course, I always like playing Onward. Pavlov's a great game. I don't know. I'll play some more Half-Life Alyx because I've still never finished it yet.
Yeah. Well, I recently sold my graphics card because I'm kind of holding off for some of the new stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be playing a bunch of Quest games. So
I don't feel sorry for you, man. The Quest.
No, there's there's so many games to play. So
yeah, we got a lot of stuff to play. So hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
All right, for sure. Well, all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll have this up soon. So take care and have a great one.